Well, everybody says that gardening is an art form, and we're about to prove that to you. We're joined right now by Debbie Boyd from Green Life Nursery in Waco, and you have brought along a lot of spectacular containers. You might think of them as frames for artwork. Thanks for being on our show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you are genuinely an artist, and you think of it that way,
Yes,
really.
I do. I do.
Tell me a little bit about that.
When I see plants, I think of art, and I always try to showcase them in that manner. My turtle, for example, I saw the turtle and I thought this will be really neat in an arrangement, and I wanted to showcase it, so I had the piece of driftwood, so I just put it on there.
Well, we'll talk more about Mr. Turtle in a second
Sure.
because that's a stunning arrangement.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to start our tour off, though, on a meditative note with Buddha.
Yes, Mr. Booth.
And, this is a demonstration of your artistry. And what are some of the guiding principles that you use when you create these stunning combinations of plants?
Well, first of all, the container always speaks to me. So I'll look at the container, and then I just start going around my garden center finding pieces that will go in it, and I call them my inspiration pieces. Most people will go by the filler, thriller, and the spiller. Well, that philosophy is good, especially for beginning gardeners.
Right.
But with me, I always find my inspiration piece. And for me, on Mr. Buddha, it was the container. So, and I saw him and I thought, oh, he'll be perfect in the centerpiece. So I flanked him with the Pacific junipers and the New Zealand windgrass. And also, that container, I love it because there's 3 little compartments that you can take out and move it around. So I actually could take him off and put in a little battery-operated fountain if I wanted to. So you get tons of looks out of that container.
Okay, well, it is a great container. I
Thank
love the
you.
raised nature of it. You mentioned the turtle. Let's go ahead and dive in with the turtle here.
Okay.
What I love everything about this piece, but here you have the sculpture, you have this beautiful piece of driftwood, but the first thing my eye gravitates to is this stunning plant at the center. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's Bernaria. It's a shade-loving plant. Actually, if it's left in the garden, it could get larger. But of course, a container, your size of your container is going to dominate the growth of the plant. So I just love the colors, the vein. So I thought this has got to be my showpiece. It's got to go with my turtle, and because it just kind of reminded you of that environment that you would see a turtle in.
Yeah, I love the concept of an inspiration piece and it's something that you can start with. And a lot of times that's the hardest thing for people to do is just get started.
Right. Well, I always, as I walk around the garden center, I'll see something and it just calls my name, and I've got to do something with this. And so I'll take it and I'll just start matching up containers or, so forth.
All right. Well, the next is a combination of pieces. Really, it's 2-tiered and is really lovely. Tell me a little bit about what's going on here with these combinations.
Thank you. A lot of my customers like instant gratification. I try to make them as full as I can, and like that arrangement I made 2 days ago. So obviously something's not going to grow like that in 2 days. So what I do, I'll take hanging baskets, cut them apart, and that is a Lois Burke angel wing begonia. I love it because there's a soft coral in there. So to pick up, really pop the colors, it's not blooming really well yet. I brought in some Wizard Coleus that had the coral colors in it, and that just kind of popped it. And of course, the bright green, and I wanted to bring out the bright green in the bottom, so I used a bright green container. Sometimes my clients find the cocoa liner that I've used a little intrusive. They want it softened, and they like moss. Well, moss can be a little expensive, so there's a couple of ways you can get around that. Is just use spray paint or something.
Well, it works beautifully on all levels, and what I like too is incorporating these metal pieces in the garden that serve as shelving or whatever. It really helps vary the container garden.
That's correct.
So it's not just about the combination in that one particular pot.
Right.
It's about what you also can put around it in the combination of different containers. We have this really tall piece with this wonderful kind of Victorian-looking metalwork. Tell me a little bit about this arrangement.
A lot of my clients want height, or they have a place by a door and they need height, but they have these short little vases. So we will take an obelisk, which is what I have, the wire piece. I will put it in there, and they come in many heights, widths, sizes. So I will always put that in there and give it some height. And of course, the red mandevilla is just a showstopper in itself. And then I matched it up with the Cora periwinkles because it has the red eye. And then
Yeah.
I just threw in a little Brazilian red hot Joseph's coats to pop it.
Okay, well, from the tall, hot red to the cools, we're going to go down really low right now to talk about the succulents. And you just wanted people to know that you can create these kind of arrangements on the fly almost.
Right, right. This arrangement took less than 30 seconds, honestly, for me.
Wow.
It's what we call our succulent boards, and people will bring me in very shallow containers. So I had to develop a method to get around to plant in those. And some of them you can't plant. I've had
Right.
people bring me pieces of wood, and they're like, "This is off my grandparents' farm," and I'm going, "Oh, I can't destroy this board." So I developed the succulent board. So I just basically lay moss. I just cut the succulents, lay them in the moss, and the succulents actually they hold water, so they become air plants. And then you actually can plant them in a couple months later.
Sure.
And so you can put that on the table and not have to worry about watering or running a table. You can do all kinds of things with that. You can add your gourds for holidays or candles or just anything.
Well, you just mentioned holidays. 4th of July is coming up. So you have one little combination that's with a patriotic theme that's really lovely.
Right, thank you. I want people to understand too, you don't have to go buy a container. I go through my closet and just find things to use. And I had my picnic basket and I thought, oh, that kind of reminds me of 4th of July, going to picnics. So
that's
you just
great.
stick your plants in there and add, some little 4th of July decorations and voila, you have a very festive environment.
Right. Well, festive is the word for the day. Our next one is a big combination. It includes a midnight marvel hibiscus. Is that right?
This one will bloom red. That was my inspiration plant in that container, and I just went with it. I loved the dark leaves, so I found pinks, and I went with the angelonias, the sparkler grass, and the soiree vicas, and just kind of played off of those pink tones, and with the Candyland caladiums, just really popped it and brought it to life.
It looks beautiful altogether.
Thank you.
And sometimes in the summertime you want a splash of color like this one provides. The next one has almost like a fountain-like effect of color with a beautiful annual grass.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay. That annual grass is called Black Knight. It is just beautiful, and unfortunately it's an annual here in our area. And I just wanted to make a fall centerpiece out of that one, and I used the orange Maui Oxora with it and some green coleus, and just to kind of give you a fall festive feel.
Coming up next, we have a little container. It's not little, but you've brought a feathered friend along, and no real combination here in terms of plants, but sometimes choosing the right plant for the container is absolutely critical.
That is. The container can make or break the arrangement. And with this container, I really didn't want to put dirt in there, and so I just stuffed it with like packing peanuts, and I just set my container in there and bring it out when I need to water and stick them back in there. But I loved that coleus because it just kind of made it look like feathers.
And that's a neat trick about the packing peanuts, because you can, for the really tall containers, and especially, you may not want to invest all that money in soil.
Right.
So just fill it up with something really light, and there you go.
Right. Well, make sure you always use something like landscape fabric to put your dirt in, so your dirt doesn't fall down into your peanuts.
On our very last note, a beautiful arrangement using some longtime annual favorites.
I love the cascading vinca with the upright vincas, because when this grows, if I didn't put anything else in there, it would just look like one huge mounding plant with
Right.
the cascade.
Okay, well, it works, and again, splash of color at the center.
Right, Penta.
Penta is just one of those plants that performs and performs and
Right.
performs in our long hot summers.
They do. The butterflies love them.
You are a full-line garden center. You want
Yes.
to tell us real briefly about some of the other services you offer?
We do landscaping and landscape design. We specialize in native gardens,
Perfect.
cottage gardens, and Japanese gardens. and we've been in business for about 20 years. My husband and I do it together.
Oh, congratulations to you,
you.
and thanks for coming down to Austin to
Thank
be on
you.
Central
My
Texas
pleasure.
Gardener. It's been great having you as a guest.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, Daphne's got the week off, so let's check in with Daniel Cunningham, who's going to be making rain barrels from food-grade drums.